Manchester United latest transfer news. Now, this past week, the links have been massive with Harry Maguire and the fact that Manchester United have apparently put in a £70 million bid for the England international, and it seems Manchester United have turned their attention to him, with other transfers seeming out the question, and there hasn't been too much other talk going on in the football world for Manchester United in terms of transfers. Bruno Fernandes is still potentially in the pipeline, but we haven't really heard much further on that news much yet. And the Paul Pogba situation seems to rumble on for Manchester United. He still hasn't returned to pre-season training, but the reports from the BBC are that he will travel with the squad on their pre-season tour. But Raiola has come out and pretty much said that he won't stay at Manchester United. So will we sell him or will he be forced to stay? We will have to wait and see. But if he doesn't return to pre-season, it's basically forcing Manchester United's hands to sell him. But the matthijs de ligt saga has rumbled on, which is the main topic of this video, because along with the Harry Maguire thing, because although Harry Maguire will be an upgrade on Phil Jones and Chris Smalling because they are absolute fucking shite, I would much prefer obviously de Ligt, and the Harry Maguire for 70. Well, they've rejected the £70 million bid, but they want Manchester United to pay as much as 80 to 90 million, which in my point of view is too much when you could get de Ligt for around 70 million euros, something of that ilk. But will he still come to Manchester United? That is the big news. But the biggest news is it says that Ajax have an agreement with Manchester United and PSG over the transfer of matthijs de Ligt. That's from Julian Lawrence. So we've pretty much heard that before from David Ornstein, that Manchester United have the agreement with Ajax for matthijs de Ligt, but it is the player that doesn't want to come to Manchester United and would prefer to go to Juventus. But from what else it's saying, there is a chance where Ajax will lose a little bit of patience, say hang on a minute, PSG have agreed, Manchester United have agreed, in that case we will stop talking to Juventus, and de Ligt can choose between these clubs that actually have an agreement in place. So basically what he is saying is that obviously Juventus are fucking around with the transfer, probably with the wage structure and the deal that they're putting in place, which probably maybe isn't good enough. I don't know. It seemed as though the reports earlier in the week was that he was going to get a lot of money still going to Juventus, but maybe PSG and Manchester United are offering tons more money and better deals for Ajax, maybe offering Ajax more money. So that is obviously persuasive for Ajax to get the deal done to PSG or Manchester United over Juventus but either of them clubs are offering more, and I would consider that PSG are definitely offering a lot more and would be willing to pay him huge transfer salary and agent fee and everything else. So it does look like this transfer is going to rumble on and on. I still don't think that Manchester United are going to get the guy, but there's still a very good chance that he can now go to PSG still, because if the Juventus thing falls through, which it did look earlier in the week like it was going to happen. I mean, before it was Barcelona, it looked set in stone. Then it was Juventus. But if it's none of them two, then my next in line I would expect him to go to PSG, because it seems he would favour a move to one of them clubs that are playing in the Champions League over Manchester United. But still, if none of them, if he doesn't want to choose to go to PSG, then maybe it will have to be Manchester United. But we will just have to wait and see. But my instinct is that maybe Manchester United were looking at Harry Maguire because they thought that this deal was just not going to happen. But if Ajax have got an agreement with both of these clubs, then obviously the packages and deals must be up there to the standard that they want, and that they just do not have that deal with Juventus. Maybe that obviously, as I say, the transfer fee just isn't high enough from what Ajax value the player at. And even if you guys hire 80 million euros for this guy, though, I think it is a snippet. He's 19 years of age and a much higher level than Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is nowhere near at the level of player this guy is. And if Manchester United have to go for Harry Maguire and pay 80, 90 million, I'm going to be disappointed still with missing out on this guy, even though I'm pretty sure that we won't get him. But you're looking at the other options out there, that it's just who else are Manchester United going to go for. Ruben Dias was one that I was looking at playing for Portugal and thought that he looked a hell of a player, which would cost a lot less than the likes of Harry Maguire. But is there so much more options out there? Diop from West Ham is another option, but besides that, it is looking less and less options out there. But Manchester United have really got to step up their game and get a centre half done in the next few weeks. Solskjaer has come out and said that there is still more signings in the pipeline for Manchester United, and that the two that have signed were primarily what he wanted for the pre-season tour, so he's relaxed about it and everything else. So hopefully we can get some more deals over the line. Anyway, let me know in the comments section below what you think of this transfer, because it's pretty much the only saga is really centre half and midfield being talked about at this moment in time. I mean, Ben Yedder of Seville has been talked about a little bit in the press, but I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. That's going to rely on the Lukaku deal as well. So we will have to wait and see. I mean, Lukaku looks like he's definitely going on the pre-season tour, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any news on the saga there, whether he's going to stay or whether he's going to go. But if he's not given a starting berth in the pre-season games from the start, then maybe it does give the likes of Mason Greenwood and even Tai Chong to get some minutes in the games and look to try and impress, as well as Daniel James as well, looking to impress, maybe put in some decent performances, and maybe then we will see whether he does go for another attacking player. But we do have a number of attacking options there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the transfer rumours, ins and outs, and we'll keep locked to the channel for any updates and breaking news, because we will react to it as soon as it happens here on the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.